Hey everybody, it is On Screen Off Screen with an episode 2 for this week. I wanted to start with just a quick thing that I thought was really cool. I talked about Flow. It's a movie that won Animated Movie of the Year last year, which is a really good movie. It's very unique, it's very thought-provoking, it's just good. I found out that the whole thing was made with Blender by one dude, which is really cool. It's really cool. And I talked about how parts of the animation are fantastic and parts of it are kind of less so. Well, the parts that are fantastic, I was amazed that this guy was able to create with Blender. Like he made the whole movie. That's amazing. And it made me want to get back into Blender again because I haven't touched it in months. Um, because I find that project and the fact that this guy was able to do that so impressive. It's really cool. Have you seen it yet? Have you watched it?
No,
Have you watched any trailers or anything for it?
I think I did when you told me to watch, but I don't think I've seen anything on it since. I haven't watched it.
Okay. I would still recommend it. It's really good. And the fact that you like Blender too, I think might make you even more into it.
Probably. I'm
For
really into the Blender Studios animations.
they're amazing. They're so good. Have they released more since you showed?
No,
That's
they're
cool.
still. They just released an episode about what their next project is going to be, but not their next project.
Okay.
So if you want to
I'm
spend an
excited
hour and
for.
a half following an artist work on a character, you can watch that. But
Did you do that? Have you
no,
done that?
no.
Okay. Okay. I weirdly could see myself enjoying that.
I could if it was more of a theoretical, what do you call it, lecture.
Okay.
Like if they were talking about the art styles and the purposes of them and like why they decided to do specific things. Sure.
Or even like talking through what they're doing, or do they do that, or are you just literally watching somebody work on Blender and that's it?
They talk about more of like a technical side and it's a little bit more boring. And then they show
Okay.
kind of some stuff on the side. You could try it. It just wasn't really my thing.
Okay. I would try it. If you guys haven't seen the shorts that they do, they're really good. They're really good. Anyway, that was kind of my first little thing. Um, let's get into your The Danger of the Heart.
So this is another anime I started watching. So basically
Okay.
I've been watching Eminence in Shadow. I decided last night or yesterday, like, hey, I'm not really in the mood for something as serious. I kind of want like another, what is it called? Love is War, another Todora, another kind of like more than a married couple, that kind of anime. So I looked it up. I was like, hey, if you like Love is War, what should I watch? And this is the number one option. I found a ranking of 25 of them. Number two has always been like Todora. So like I've seen some of them, but I'd never heard of this one before, and I was like, okay, I'm just gonna fall asleep to this anyway, right? Maybe I'll get a few episodes into it. Maybe. It was like 7 o'clock last night. I was like, I'm gonna eat some food. I'll start watching it. Maybe I'll get into it. But I'll either fall asleep to it or I'll just turn it off, get some sleep. But spoiler warning, I am operating off of 2 hours of sleep. So this is just like a really good, innocent, fun time rom com. Right? There's no anime garbage in it. The writing, honestly, not the best. I would put it like slightly better than Sword Art Online, which I would rank as pretty cheesy and pretty bad, honestly. So this is slightly better than that. In this one, you're following this goth guy who is a short king who's really into like murder psychology stuff, which he was in America in today's day and age, he would be the most popular kid because all the girls are into that kind of stuff. But like So he's really into this, and he's kind of this loner guy, and he doesn't really talk to anybody. And the main girl is a model who's like a ditzy, weird girl who likes to eat. That's her big thing, is she just loves to snack on things.
Is that anime trope, like the always hungry but skinny girl thing
Yeah.
that they do?
I've never really seen it done somewhere else, but like here, she's like model girl who really likes snacks and really likes candy and stuff. And like the way that these two people start interacting is she goes to the library after her lunch so that she can keep eating without people judging her. Because she has this group of friends that's always like, you should eat less, you should stop eating so many snacks, blah, 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 whatever, right? And so she goes to the library so she can just eat food in peace. But you're not allowed to have food in the library, so she sneaks into the library to eat it. And he goes there because he's trying to plan his murder for her. Literally the first 2 episodes, she's like, I just want to kill her so bad. There's nobody I want to murder more than this girl. The whole episode, the first episode, is like him lending her his box cutter, and he's like, is this my chance? Is this my chance to kill her? And you're like, what is this dude's problem? Go to therapy, dude. Holy crap, you need help. But he lends her this box cutter, and then she steals it, but then gives it back, and he's like, she knew where my seat was. And stupid cheesiness, right? But kind of the same thing. They're still kind of cold to each other. They don't really get to know each other or anything until one day in the library, one of her chubby friends comes in to ask her for relationship advice, while the guy who has a crush on her goes in to ask her out. And so it's the 3 of them because our main guy is behind the bookshelf and he's just judging the main girl the entire time. He's like, why would you say that? What are you doing? Get out of the way. He's trying to ask her out. You're being egregiously, like, why would you ask that question? And so he gets her to leave them alone. And in the meantime, she gives him garbage from her snack. She's like, here, you can have this. And he's like, what am I supposed to do with this? Like, what the heck? Fast forward to the next time she gives him a snack, and he gives her the wrapper back, and suddenly she notices him. And then they become friends. And then it's completely obvious to everybody that these two like each other. But he's too insecure and kind of like, I'm just the weird loser kid, and she's a model. And she's too ditzy girl to actually say anything. And that's where I'm at. I'm halfway through season 2. And it's this, they're becoming more and more friends. I genuinely love their relationship because they genuinely make each other just better people. She is genuinely helping him out of his shell, right, in a very patient way. And she is genuinely thinking more clearly about things because of the way he is. And she's just so respectful. You get to the beginning of season 2, and for the very first time he's like, I just think this, I just feel this way. And she's like, well, thank you. And he's like, thank you, what are you talking about? And she's like, it's not very often that you talk about yourself, much less anything about the way you think or feel, so I appreciate you, thank you. And you're just like, holy crap, look at that, that is wonderful. And there's all these other side characters that are just so relatable. So he has a nosy sister that is like teasing him until she realizes that she actually has, or he actually has a chance with this girl, and like she freaks out about it, and he's just doesn't know how to handle it, and she has very strict, overbearing parents. So there's that kind of dynamic to it. There's all the other students in the class with them doing all their stuff that they do. And it's an anime and it's romantic comedy, and there's no anime girl screaming or garbage scenes or stupidness added just for the sake of adding it. It's just genuinely like innocent and good and fun and enjoyable. And that's my kind of romantic comedy thing. Like, I love She's All That. I would put it very much along the same. It's like She's All That.
Alright. Is this one a little bit niche than the other two? So it sounds a little bit more niche. Like, I'm gonna give it a try. It sounds like something I have to try whether I'm going to like, or find out whether I'm going to like it or not. But it sounds a little more niche.
I'd say it's a lot more generic.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
So, like in Love is War, you have the president and the vice president, and they're at war with each other, trying to, like, they both know that they like each other. They just don't want to be the first one to admit it, right? So it's that niche, like, specific kind of humor that they're going at with that. Right. This one is generic, like, base story. Girl has a crush on guy. He's kind of a loner guy. She gets a crush on him and is the popular girl. And, like, through happenstance and hijinks, they end up liking each other, right? Like, it could not be, like, more generic rom-com topic-wise.
Yeah, you have, like, the I want to stab her. I just want to cut open her throat thing.
That goes away after the first two episodes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's not a prominent thing. It's like, honestly, when I first turned it on, I was like, should I turn this off? This is weird.
It's not like she's in love with a psychopath the entire time.
No. He's like actually a normal guy. It's just like, like maybe even skip the first two episodes. Because, like, genuinely, if I had just watched the first two episodes, I would tell you that this show is weird and terrible and you shouldn't watch it.
Okay.
Because the first two episodes are him just like, is it my chance to kill her? And you're like, what is this dude's problem?
I was like, so
holy
it's about
crap.
A girl who's in love with a psychopath and is slowly changing him to not be a psychopath anymore.
Yeah,
okay?
No, it feels like they completely abandoned that, and instead he's just a guy, like, they don't even really bring it up till like halfway through season 2. He's just like into psychology now.
Oh.
Yeah. So it's like the first few episodes are really just like weird, and you're like, this is creepy.
What?
Why is this kid's inner dialogue? That's not normal at all. Like, go get help. But now it's like
he got help.
He got help. He had somebody, step into his life, and now he's being a better person. And like, there's even like his parents and his sister start to notice that like he enjoys going to school now, and all these like really good things for a person. So it's like, I know that that's true about the anime, but that's not what it's about. It's honestly a really generic storyline that's just told really well with some good humor and just feel good. Like, it's just positive. You just feel good watching it. It's just good.
Cool.
Yeah.
Now with that, let's go to our next one. Suits LA episodes 2 through 4. Me and Josh talked a little bit about this before. Suits LA feels like an absolute parody of Suits in all the wrong ways, and they're trying to make things come together, but it doesn't work. It just doesn't. and they try to do like the buddy comedy thing. There's a couple times where it's a little funny, but mostly it just doesn't work. They make you want to care about the characters. It doesn't work. Um, it's just not very good. It's just not very good. What did what did you think about Suits LA?
I think it's terrible. Right, like I was pretty positive after episode one of like giving Stephen Amal, Stephen whatever his name is,
I think that's right.
a lot of like leeway, because my perspective was like he wasn't Harvey, but he really wanted to be because of whatever the secret was. But then in like episode two, you find out what the secret is, and you're like, that's stupid. And now he has this like really connived, stupid relationship with his ex, and immediately they backpedal on the one guy just being the bad guy, trying to get back at him because he called him the name. Now he actually feels bad for him, and it's like, you have no good protagonist, you
Nope.
have no good antagonist anymore. Your stars
Nope.
of the show are what's his bucket, who betrays the one guy, Stephen Amal or whatever his name is, and your second best character is the girl who took his spot at the old law firm, and she's really more just irritating because she's a movie lawyer, entertainment lawyer, head of
Who doesn't know
entertainment,
movies?
who doesn't know movies. So now you have to introduce this really irritating character whose whole personality is explaining movies to the head of entertainment who doesn't know movies.
We disagreed on that one. I actually like the Asian girl character. She doesn't bug me like she bugs you. I To me the problem is you have the guy who portrays like the main guy who portrays the Stephen Amell character. Stephen Amell hasn't done anything to make us really like him. So I end up liking the guy who portrays him and the guy that left, and their kind of buddy cop thing that they're trying to do, but not doing super well. I like both of those two characters more than I like my main character that I'm supposed to empathize with. And I would rather just watch a show about them because Steven is kind of a boring character who is trying to be Harvey but isn't Harvey, and it makes it even worse. And it's just bad.
Oh, but don't forget,
Where
he also might be schizoid, but not really. Maybe.
and he might be schizoid, but not really, but maybe also. And the main girl who takes over the show is actually probably my least favorite character. I don't like her at all. And the only thing that makes me like her is actually the Asian girl. Otherwise, I wouldn't like her in any way. And the idea that you would make her that she would even want to be head of of what she does, head
Head of
of
entertainment.
yeah, head of entertainment. The idea she would even want to be head of entertainment when she's gone to law school and planned out her career when she doesn't like movies is stupid. Like it's insane. No, she would. There's a lot of different things you can do with a law degree. She wouldn't go into something she doesn't even enjoy doing. No, it's stupid.
I,
Stupid.
I disagree with that she wouldn't go into anything she doesn't enjoy doing. I disagree that she wouldn't go into anything she wouldn't care about.
Yes,
Right?
that's a
Like,
better way of saying
she
it.
might
That's a
not
better way.
enjoy being a prosecutor, but you could still see her being a prosecutor.
Yes,
She wouldn't necessarily enjoy being a public defender, but you could see her doing that too.
yes,
Right? She might not enjoy corporate law, but you could see her doing that. But like entertainment law is like such a niche topic. You wouldn't like dedicate your whole life to becoming the head of entertainment because quote unquote they live in Hollywood. And if you want to be a big name here, that's what you have to do.
no, ridiculous.
Yeah, no. Stupid.
No, and then you had that whole scene with the Kevin character from The Office. Like she doesn't know anything about this, and Kevin just acts like an absolute moron. You had that plan the whole time? Wow, you're an amazing lawyer. When she had no idea what she was doing, it was stupid. It was stupid.
I disagree with the Kevin character comment. I agree with you about her.
Oh, really? I thought the Kevin thing was dumb. Like the whole thing, all of it.
I just think you saw Kevin and not like the plot that they were trying to portray.
But I'm not even that big of a fan of The Office, so like I don't feel
But
like I'm seeing Kevin.
that's what that's how you're treating him. The
Okay,
whole plot was I get treated like Kevin, like I'm a dummy. They introduce a character just so that he could play Kevin, and then your response is it was, well, he was just too dumb.
but he
Like,
did just act dumb.
no,
Like if he's absolutely you believe that she had this whole entire thing
no.
planned out like that. It was so corny. No.
I agree with you about her. I don't think he was just dumb or just acting dumb. Does that make sense?
What do you think he was acting then? Because if he doesn't go along with it,
I
the
think
whole
he
thing
acted
doesn't
it
work.
serious, and I think he did a good job with the line he was given.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
Like he was
I can
like,
give him that.
"This
I
is
can
a
give him that.
serious thing, and I'm trying to be a serious actor,
Yeah.
and I'm not just Kevin." Right? Like the line is
Yeah, there has
terrible,
to be
the
something more.
writing is terrible. His portrayal in that character was as good as it could have been.
Considering. Fair enough. Fair enough. Fair enough. Yeah, it's just not a very good show, and I am not planning on watching more.
I'm not gonna watch more. It's bad. It is just
Eh,
bad. It's not entertaining. You don't love any of the characters. Uh, you're either mildly like it or you absolutely despise the character.
yep. The
And
only
like,
character that I'm kind of rooting for is the brother, who apparently is dead.
yeah, and like even the characters you kind of like, it's totally forced. Like
Yep.
you have to come play D&D and you have to wear a wizard hat or you're fired. Nobody talks like that. What are you doing with this character? Like this is just stupid. No other way to say how terrible it is than that.
I completely agree. Um, yeah. Anyway, we won't watch more of that show. We're not gonna rate more of it. If it gets way better, guys watching, let us know. But I doubt it. I don't think it'll last that long either. I give it 2 seasons. That's about it.
I
I think
don't
that's
think
all.
it'll get greenlit for the second season.
I would do because it's. I don't know. I don't know because it suits. Maybe, but
How
I
I
don't
Met
know.
Your Dad.
Yeah, that's true.
That one didn't even get past the pilot.
That's true. Like How I Met Your Father, which honestly isn't very good. Made what 2 seasons, 3 seasons, something like that.
Two, I think.
Yeah,
But here's the problem with these shows, right? Like, they try and be what the old show was,
yeah.
and it never works. It's always terrible. This is what I say about, like, the iCarly reboot, is like, it tried so hard to be the old iCarly that it was terrible. But then it kind of, like, started to find its footing and figure out what, like, it wanted to be on its own. And it started to get good, but by that time it was too late and it was canceled.
Or if they just would have tried to do their own thing from the beginning, could have been something good.
Well,
Maybe.
they just needed a better artistic idea at the beginning of it, right? They needed to have a story they actually wanted to tell, and not just, hey, let's revive iCarly, because let's face it, we can't get cast in any other roles because we're thought of as Freddie and Carly and not as actual people with actual skills.
Can you think of a show that goes away and then comes back years later that's actually good? I can't.
Like a reboot or like a show that just like wasn't renewed but then did get renewed.
Yeah, that
Wasn't
second,
renewed
second.
but did get renewed.
Yeah, yeah.
One of the greatest shows of all time. Clone Wars.
Which one?
Was canceled 4 times.
Huh. Yeah, that's a good one. That's a good one.
And then Cartoon Network was like, I'll do it again. And then Netflix was like, I'll do it again. And then Disney was like, oh, I'll do it again.
That's a good one. I didn't know. I don't know why I didn't think of that because that is actually good.
Avatar: The Last Airbender,
When does it come? When does it come back?
Legend of Korra.
Does that count when it's a different? I'm talking like the same characters. I guess it does have some of that. It does have some of that.
It's more of a sequel or a reboot to it, kind of like the iCarly one. I'll give it to you. Yeah. Is it the best show ever? Is it even really that good? No, but is it enjoyable and worth watching? Yeah.
First season, yeah. First season is actually I enjoy the first season. I think the first season is good.
Isn't the like whole flashback about the first Bender not till like season 3? Because that's the best.
That part's good too. Like
That
there's
part's
good aspects.
amazing.
It's very very well done. That part, there are parts of the later episodes that are good, but overall the rest of the show I don't think is great.
I think
But I
all
really
3 seasons are a
like the
copy and
first
paste of the
season.
other.
First season I really enjoyed. There's 4 seasons. There's 4
4 seasons of.
of Korra.
Oh, yeah. I think they're all equally the same. You have an
Okay.
introduction of a villain, and you go, oh, this is interesting. And then you have some hijinks and kind of some filler episodes, and then you have the ultimate showdown, and it's ultimately disappointing.
Okay.
That's how Korra is in every single season.
I agree. I just like the villain from the first season. The first season worked for me. Maybe it's because I just saw repeats over and over again with the other seasons. The other seasons don't work.
I agree with you. I think it's done the best, but I also think it has the most disappointing ending for the villain.
I honestly can't remember the endings of the other villains.
The same thing happens. Korra doesn't actually face them. The worst one is season 4, where literally Korra doesn't face them, and Korra kills all the past avatars.
Yep, it sucks.
That is the worst one. Plain and simple, for sure. But Armand is the best, but is still ultimately a terrible ending for your villain.
Yeah, yeah, that's fair. That is fair.
Yeah.
That is fair. Anyway, guys, that is Suits LA. Let's go to our last one, and I want you to go first.
I love this show. So we want to talk about The Newsroom. It's an HBO show. It went on for 3 seasons and then got canceled. Follows the perspective of what happens in the background of like a cable news show. I absolutely love this show. I think the writing in it is fantastic. I think the acting in it is fantastic. And this show makes me think I really wish news organizations were actually like this, because then I might actually watch.
Okay.
What'd you think? This is my second time watching the show, so like this is your first show. Like, what do you?
I knew that we were going to have vastly, vastly, vastly different opinions on this show. Massively different opinions on this show. I think this show has maybe the greatest plot of any TV show ever made. I love the plot of this show. The first like plot episode of this show, where he gets up and he gives that grand speech. It's so good. It is one of my favorite pieces of writing and acting I have ever seen. And I'm watching the show and I'm thinking, this might be good. They might be able to pull off actually doing a balanced act and really hitting both sides hard. Like that is what the show is based on. That's what they kind of prime it as. And I'm like, that is really cool. They're going to do it. Now, for anybody watching, I am more conservative in my leanings. I just am. And it's hard to talk about this show without talking about politics. But There's a show called The West Wing. Have you seen it, Josh? Okay, The West Wing is phenomenal. It's very good. And I was like, okay, cool. We're going to have a West Wing type of a show. But West Wing doesn't pretend like it is not biased in any way, shape, or form. It does not pretend. It is absolutely a left leaning show. I don't agree with a vast majority of what is brought up in West Wing, but I like the show and I don't feel like they pretend that it is a non biased show. This one, you have a person who claims to be Republican who believes literally no Republican beliefs at all. I gave up on this show after episode 6. Um, he doesn't believe any Republican ideas. The idea that he is Republican is bullshit. It's not true. Um, and so you have a person that's staged as supposed to be this middle voice. They even have I think I wrote it down. Um, The studio is a courtroom, and we only call expert witnesses. Will, who's the main character, is the judge and rules only and brings out the facts. Like, he's supposed to be this middle of the line guy. That is the way the show is taped. Great first episode. Love it. Second episode. Awesome. Really, really great at the second episode. And I'm like, okay, they're going to do it. You have a Hollywood that is absolutely, definitely left-leaning, but they're going to do the research and actually bring up points from both sides. Because you know what? I think you should have your viewpoints challenged. Part of the reason I like West Wing is because it challenges some of my viewpoints because it's very well written. The left and the right both believe in stupid stuff, without a doubt. You have the second episode, and he comes up with 3 rules. This information we need. Is this information that we need in the voting booth? Is this the best possible way to present the argument? Is this story in a historical context? You have these 3 rules. I'm like, those are great rules. And I'm watching the acting, and I'm like, that is some great acting. Especially Emily Mortimer, who's the producer person. She's phenomenal. She's really, really good. The show goes on. You have some characters that are a little bit more Republican leaning. You have some that are a little bit more left leaning. And I'm getting more and more pumped. And I'm like, yes, it's a show that gets there. And then after episode 2, it falls off a freaking cliff. And there is every single right wing person in the show is told to shut up and made look like a moron. They present no right wing arguments at all. The left wing agenda gets pushed in the show over and over and over again. And I'm sorry, the left is not right on everything. The right is not right on everything. That's not an unbiased show. So what you sold me on with your first 2 episodes, you failed to deliver abysmally. Like, so bad. It gets worse and worse and worse. Like, they talk about Judge Scalia and how he's so bad. They talk about guns and how they're so bad. He talks about, like, I believe I'm not complete Republican because I believe that tornadoes are caused by barometric pressure and not as vengeance against God for gays. Like, it literally says that in the show. Shut up, you stupid show. Shut up. And it has things like that over and over and over again that are so patronizing and so stupid. And then I finally get to episode 6, and Will, who is supposed to be a Republican, and the only time that it shows any kind of measure of good for a Republican is when you have an old congressman who's about to retire, and he's like working with the Democrats to get a bill through. He is good because he's working with the Democrats. That is literally the only time they show any kind of grace at all. Otherwise, they just make everyone look like morons. But in episode 6, they have him getting death threats, and he gets a bodyguard. And he is lecturing the bodyguard about having a gun inside of the studio to protect him. He is a professional bodyguard who has been trained for years, and you're going to sit there and lecture, you pompous prick. I hate this show. I do not like this show. I hate this show. It like built me up so I'm turning red. This show pissed me off. It built me up so much with the first 2 episodes, with me being like really excited and genuinely surprised. And then I actually felt betrayed by this show. This show can screw off and go to hell. Like, I don't like it at all, and I won't watch it anymore.
Okay, That is a completely unique opinion. Even people that don't like the show and are right wing have not expressed that perspective. I've got to be honest, I think you're taking it way personally. I think something in the show kind of struck you poorly, whatever it was. I disagree with your criticisms completely. I don't think they've been patronizing at all. I think the perspective of he's a right wing guy who is challenging right wing guys because in the news world, left won't challenge left, right won't challenge right. They're both wrong. Nobody's being called out for their stuff. But if I'm left wing and I challenge right wing, nobody's going to listen to me. But if I'm right wing and I challenge right wing, people will listen and I will get the important information across. I think that the criticisms of the show that I have come across are pretty valid in that they talk about it being idealistic and unpractical, and that they're talking down to you, not actually portraying realistically what these news organizations would be like. And I think that that's absolutely true, right? Like the real events that happen in the show, right? They report on Bin Laden, they report on the oil spill,
or whatever it's called.
yeah, like yeah. And so like, yeah, having the ability to look back on those moments critically, of course you're going to have the right answers. The news organizations today wouldn't have had those answers because hindsight is always 2020, right? So I think that that's a valid criticism, but I still think that the show's really good in that I still believe it's idealistic in a good way, and that, you know, if news organizations would watch this show and actually say, hey, let's start, like, every news organization is clearly biased.
Yeah.
If they came out and said, hey, we're going to start calling you out for lies and we're going to start being forthcoming with our perspective and let you come to the truth, I think that's absolutely a good thing. It's never going to happen. But, like, I think that news organizations have conversations where people say things like, people don't elect people, we do. Based on the news we tell. As stupid as that liner is and what it is, that's what I believe news organizations are like on both sides. Both sides are stupid to me. I'm not right-leaning or left-leaning. I'm not going to get too into that. But, like, I don't think it ruins the show, and I think overall that perspective of trying to be the different cable news network is a good thing, and I found a lot of the side plots very enjoyable.
But that's my problem with it, is I like the idea. The idea is so compelling, and that's why I was so excited about it. But it becomes not that. It becomes a CNN. Like, it's no different. If it would have said something about the left that was negative one time, I would not be angry at it. Would I love it? No, because you sell this thing that you're going to be bipartisan and you're going to really approach the facts either way. But the problem is the facts only align to one side of the aisle in this show. There is no other aisle in this show. There is the one. And you have this guy who's supposed to be a Republican, and he is not. Show me how he's Republican. He's not. Yeah. Even old school
he
Republican.
Explains it perfectly in his speech.
He talks about it in the speech and then never brings it up again. Like, he never brings up anything. Like, I love the speech. The speech is great. It's so good. It's so good
not
that
his
it makes
first speech.
Make me more mad.
I don't know when it happens in the show, but he talks about, like, he's asked the question, are you a Republican? And he answers, well, that's a trick question, because yes, I believe in some of the Republican beliefs that we need economic things and we need economic answers in government, but I don't believe that we need to hate gay people. right? That whole speech explains it. And like you say, they never say anything negative about Democrats, left-wing Democrats, but he literally rants multiple times throughout all 3 seasons of the show about how they're losers and how they push stupid agendas and how they put their wheels behind the wrong wagon and they fail at leadership. Like they have all these criticisms of left-wing all throughout the show.
The one that I've seen happen once in the speech at the beginning. And he's like, people don't like you because you lose. It wasn't anything about their policies, nothing about their policies. It was that you lose, that you don't win. Like, is that really a criticism? No. That's propaganda bullshit. There is more negative than just that. Even if you are more left leaning, I've got a really good friend who's left leaning. We talk about this kind of stuff all the time. We disagree on a lot of things, but he can say, you know what? I don't really agree with this about my party, but I also am more for this. And I try to do the exact same thing. I am more probably libertarian in my leanings, but each side does some crappy things. And this show does not portray that. It just doesn't.
It's not trying to.
It's trying to be an objective news platform that attacks all sides. Like
no,
that
it's trying to be a news platform that attacks its own side. Like I already stated, it's trying to be a news
platform that brings out the facts, but the facts only lean one way. That's all it does.
He straight up says it in the show. Like, if I were to attack somebody who's left leaning, I'm not going to listen to. Somebody on the left side's not going to attack somebody on the right side. They're not going to get listened to. The only way the truth is going to come out is when their own parties attack their own agenda. So it's a Republican attacking the Tea Party Republicans, specifically calling them the American Taliban, XYZ, whatever. So yeah, it's anti-Republican by Republican, idealistic in an idealistic way.
Okay.
Right, like go ahead, don't like the show. That's totally fine. And like I agree it has problems, but like news organizations should start doing that.
If that was what it's doing, but it's not, because he's not a Republican. He's not.
He is.
Bull. No, he's not.
Yeah.
He is not a Republican. Nope. And people should attack their own sides. I agree with that sentiment. It is not done well in this show. It's not. And then everyone that's good in the show happens to have left-wing agendas, like that the girl that you're following, who you really care for because she has panic attacks. She's always bringing up left-wing stuff that you're supposed to agree with. This show is absolutely so formulated. It's not even funny. Like and I don't want people watching to just think it's because they're attacking my side. Like that's the point that I'm trying to get across, is that I love the West Wing. The West Wing is openly left. It just is. This show just lies to you, and that's all it does.
And I'm saying I think it struck a chord with you and you're taking it more personally and you're not being objective with it.
It's possible, man. I don't think so. I think it's subjectively lying to you.
I think there's something about it that hit you the wrong way, and maybe it's because I don't associate with a certain side of the aisle, because they're both stupid, and them calling out the right side for being stupid isn't a problem for me. But
not a problem for me either. That's not the problem with the show.
That's literally what you're saying. You're saying you're upset that they call out the right side and not the left side. But I want to move on.
My problem is that they don't call out the left at all, and it is unbiased and lies on the premise of the show that it's trying to create.
And I already disagreed, because my view of the show is it's the right side attacking the right side. It's not the right side being objective in the middle, trying to say, we're going to present both sides of the argument. That's not what they're doing.
It never does it. Like, it's not even presenting it just on the stage. Like when you talk to, when the coworkers are talking to each other and they're having political talks, there's like more extreme left, but there's no right side of the aisle arguments. There's not a discussion. There's not a debate. This isn't a show where you debate ideas. This is a show where you have tornadoes cause gay people, and
That
we
literally is
should.
never shown in the show.
They literally bring that up. Um, it's literally in the like that phrasing is in the show, um, and it's not fair to ask for people's identification when they go to voting totals because it's not nice to the illegals that we shouldn't even call illegals. And there's like nobody that argues against that in the show.
He
And
does.
I'm not asking for like
I'm going to cut you off. I'm going to stop this episode. We're getting way more political than I want to. We have a difference opinion. That's totally fine. I'm fine with you not liking the show. I'm saying I disagree with you. Like, I don't see it as them trying to be in the middle, presenting both arguments. That's not what they're trying to portray. Because that's not what it is. It is idealistic. It does talk down to you sometimes. Yes, the characters in the show are far left leaning more often than not, and it's plainly obvious. But that clearly struck a negative chord with you. That's totally fine. Whatever that is, I don't like. That's totally fine. I don't have a problem with you disliking the show. Dislike the show. It has its problems. That's totally fine.
okay, so Josh and I just took a little break, and I obviously got pretty pissed off in that last little segment. This show does bug me. The reason I don't feel the reason that I feel like I'm being justified is I wasn't mad while I was watching the show. I was actually like, I don't really like that. I was disappointed. I was disappointed, but I wasn't like angry. When we got to the sixth episode, I did get a little bit mad because I was like, this guy's supposed to be a Republican, but he's just so anti-gun and anti like everything, and I just don't buy it. But I wasn't like pissed. Talking about it right then was madder than I was during the show. I just didn't feel like it was worth my time when I do feel like the points that I'm making are valid for what's portrayed in the show. Um, Josh obviously really likes the show. He thinks the writing is great. You should watch it and give your own thoughts. I just felt like it was incredibly biased for what I thought they were trying to portray with the show.
And that's totally fair. Like I said, I don't think they're trying to be central. I don't think they're trying to do that. I think it's the right criticizing the right. I think there are things that he does in the show that's very right winged. I think there is stuff that he does in the show that's very left wing. I think it's not trying to be in the middle. I think it's that way. And there are problems with the show. Like they do talk down to the viewers, and that is a problem. And like it really sucks when they talk down to the viewers while saying that they're right winged when the message is very clearly left winged. It has problems. My biggest thing that I like the show for is like the side plots are done really well. I think the writing is really good. I think other than him saying he's a Republican, nobody else is like hiding that they're left wing. It's not like a show where they're like, we're all Republican, and then they just push left wing agenda garbage at you. So like everybody else is very open about their leanings, and it's a news organization, so like yeah, most of them are left wing. That's reality. And like I said, the thing that I think the best about the show is the message that like news organizations should be held to a higher standard, and they should start holding the information that they're giving people to a higher standard. They need to criticize people. They need to hold people accountable when they lie. They need to actually give people information about what's relevant and what's important, and not this, that, and the other kind of garbage that news organizations do. That's my biggest love for the show. Am I gonna rewatch this show? No, I'm not. It's not that big of a love for me. Like, it has enough problems that it's not high on my rewatch list. But this is the first show that I've seen where it's like, hey, here's this thing in this place that's clearly a problem in society, and we don't want to just acknowledge that it's a problem, we want to attack it. I think that's a wonderful thing.
That was a cool thing. I really like the. Well, I think some of the line writing is really good. I think the part where she emails that she was the one that cheated to everybody was hilarious and very, very well done with all the pieces that fit together. I think it's really interesting seeing them try to grab different sources and have those sources fall apart and how quickly things have to move while they're recording. I really like the aspect of trust between the main girl and Will and how she's speaking just the facts and Will has a mind that's so bright that he can present those facts like that while he's interviewing these different people. I thought that was really cool.
Yeah.
There's a lot of good aspects in this show. Just for me, there was that one negative aspect that was very negative,
And
unfortunately.
yeah, that's totally fine. Like, I'm sure you're gonna give it a 3 or a 4 out of 10, based on your review. Probably not very high. Like, I think I'm just opposite the 5. I think I'm at like a 7, but I'm obviously less politically motivated and invested in that way. So I can see those things, but they're not going to bother me as much.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Yeah, that's around where I'd put it because I don't think it's. You would be dumb if you said there was no good in this show because obviously there is good in this show. It just matters if that one aspect bugs you like it bugged me.
Yeah. And there are people who have similar arguments against the left on that, so that's really interesting to me. But I haven't seen anybody who's been that bothered by the right for you, so it's interesting. But
I went through a lot of reviews when I was looking at it to see if anyone agreed with me, and I only found one. I found one who basically thought exactly what I said. But it was I went through so many reviews to find one. Most people think
yeah,
this is one of the greatest shows of all time.
oh, I haven't seen that.
I've seen that from a lot of reviews.
A lot of the reviews I saw were, "Oh, what this show could have been." You know, if only CNN had watched this show and learned something from it from the first few episodes. And then it's them ranting about how hindsight's 2020 and how unrealistic it is to always have the right answers when you know the answer. And it's like, yeah, but it's the show is not really about those news stories. They're more about like how they're made and everything. So that really didn't bother me as much. But yeah, I think most people probably give this like a 7 or 6, and that's right about where I'm at. Where like there's some really good stuff in it, there's some really stupid stuff in it. I'm pretty glad I watched it once. I'm not gonna be mad about rewatching it, but it's not gonna be high on my list of things to rewatch.
Fair enough. All right, guys. With that, that's going to be the close of this episode. We appreciate you watching. If you have seen the newsroom and you think I'm full of crap, let me know that I'm full of crap. Give me the arguments. I would love to hear them. Bring up. I actually, if you're going to do that, leave quotes against what I am saying. Like I want quotes from the show because I'm open to admitting that I could be wrong. It's possible, but like I actually want quotes from the show. Anyway, I appreciate you guys. Appreciate you watching. Like, subscribe, all that good stuff. See you guys.